Hello and welcome to today's video. Just kind of throwing something up there for today. Only a couple days left. Tomorrow will be the last day when I'm recording in this format. So on the screen here we have 13 players under each role, 10 and then 3 more. So with my Discord Hall of Fame, what I have going on, I utilize an algorithm of stats and accomplishments to determine how many points somebody has to be entered on the ballot. The top 60 players that are retired that haven't played in the last 2 years that aren't already in the Hall of Fame get on the ballot, and then I have the Discord vote. I don't vote. Well, actually, no, I do vote. Um, Discord votes, and we go from 15 down to um, 15 of 60, and then 6 of those 15 to determine who gets in. Now, Doinby this year got in. He's going to obviously be no longer in the Hall of Fame because he returned to play. But on the screen here, as you see Doinby's on here, are the players that are active right now on a roster in Tier 1 and where they rank in Hall of Fame points, which is going to upset some people because obviously we have a guy like Evie in third, and people are going to be like, why the fuck is Evie there? So, I consider all domestic success to be equivalent. Um, Obviously, it is harder to win, in my opinion, probably in the LPL and LCK than Japan. Fair. But where the difference lies is international success. Where a player has international success, they get a massive boost in Hall of Fame points. But if you're just kind of having a pretty black career for the most part, you don't, and you have one great run, you're probably not going to, to I would say, like, for instance, like Faker. Last year I think T1 ended up with like a range of like 87 to 95 Hall of Fame points depending on player. And that happened the year before as well. So to give you insight on if you win worlds and you go to all the events, you're going to have a lot of Hall of Fame points. So in top lane here, Impact leads the way. Impact's been playing forever, so longevity also plays a role in this. Obviously, he's been to Worlds many times, been to MSI many times, is a world champion. He has the most Hall of Fame points right now in top lane that's left. Zeus, two-time world champion, is next. Evie. Evie won for DFM a lot. He had a lot of all-stars because, based on stats that I did myself, all pros for every split, he's probably racked a lot of those up. Bin, of course, is Bin better than Evie? Yes, but how much has he accomplished in his career? How many, you know, hell, he won MSI. That's good. He will probably surpass Evie this year in Hall of Fame points for sure. Um, but he just doesn't have the longevity that a player like Evie has. 369, also up there. The Shy, world champion, just took a year off. Broken Blade, consistent domestic success. Bwipo, very long career. Keen, very long career, but not many appearances. One MSI, that's good. Kiaya, obviously Gam, continuously going to international events, a Vietnamese legend. So these smaller region players, if they're legends and they have consistent success, they deserve recognition. Just because you're some fanboy for one of the major regions does not mean that these players did not have success in their career. They don't have fame within their own regions. After that, Robo, Doran, and Flandre are the next three. Jungle, Peanut, no surprise. Canyon, no surprise. Karsa, very long career. Owner, two-time world champion. Levi, long career with GAM. Blabber has played a long time, surprisingly long, like 2018, 2019, and consistently goes to international events. Wei, obviously MSI champion more than once, but has also had some years where he'd like to forget. Adi has been playing since like season like 3 or something, so he's just racked up a ton of points. Deserves credit for the longevity. Kanavi and Shun, followed by Pioshik, T, and Tarzan. You're like, where's JJ? He was next. So those guys, Pioshik kind of only had one good year. Tien, has had good seasons, but not a lot of international success out of the 1 year. I mean, you could say, oh, well, why is Blabber so high? Well, didn't Blabber have some decent runs at Worlds? He was on those teams, right? Jungle, mid lane, Faker, Xiaohu, Caps. Oftentimes, Caps gets in the discussion. Is he a top 5 mid of all time? Is he top 3 mid of all time? Well, based on accomplishments right now in his career, he is, in my opinion. Out of those that are still active, but I imagine if we looked at everyone that's retired, I doubt there's somebody with more Hall of Fame points than Caps. Knight, he's put together an illustrious career. Rookie, world champion. Showmaker, world champion. Scout, world champion. And this is interesting. Chovy falls here, MSI champion, but he has not been racking up Hall of Fame points because he doesn't have the success that those above him have had with the longevity that they've had. And it's funny because we say, oh, is Chovy the GOAT? Mechanically, yes, but accomplishment-wise, simply not the case. He has a lot of work still to do because everyone above him, they're still playing and they're on good teams. BDD, long career. Duenby, world champion, followed by Tinones of Brazil. Has had a long career. Humanoid, always going to Worlds, and that's going to obviously boost his value. He's somebody that people know. Fofo had good runs back in his career with Flash Wolves. Bot lane, Ruler, Guma, Jackie Love, Sven. Why is Sven up there above Gala? This is not indicative of Sven being necessarily better than Gala, but he's done more in his career. He's had a long, illustrious career, despite Gala getting so many accolades for winning MSI. Sven has had a long, successful career. Viper. Viper's one of the best 80 carries of all time. But I'm not going to give some opinion points. I think opinion points are not for me to give out. Or average, regular, normie YouTube commenter that watches League of Legends. I don't think that that's really the place for that. Betty, illustrious career. Hansama, making waves, doing his thing on G2, I would say riding the bus, if you will. Elk, no international success in terms of winning. He has second place finish points, but he doesn't have first place points. Pays, only just beginning his career. Teddy, light aiming. Kind of all in the same boat, right? In terms of they've all been very good players at some point in their career, but never really gotten over the hump. Support, Mako, Carrier, Core JJ, all successful, great careers. Mickey X, obviously a dominant support in the LEC, best LEC support of all time. Barrel, when he's on, and when he's on, it's scary. Lahens, of course, MSI champion. Crisp, world champion. Kai Wing, long PCS career, deserves credit for that. Hilly, I mean, deep runs with Fnatic at Worlds. Have to respect it. Missing, just a good player, and has some hardware. On Huhi Vulcan. Huhi's on there, Vulcan's on there. Well, Huhi's played a long time because I include his mid lane points in there too. So that's a thing. But just something to think about here. Just throwing it up there. Think of the players that have been around a long time, and what they've kind of built up for their resumes thus far in terms of their entire careers, not just one season, not just one meta, not just one patch. Because I'm very adamant, and I say it all the time. Yes, a player won Worlds. That does not mean that team or player was the best one in their role that whole season. That means they're the best one on that patch. Do you get more points and more credit because you did well at that international event? Of course. Of course. But an entire year does matter. You put up consistent amount of points, you end up because I think, like, for instance, like I said, T1 winning Worlds got like 85 or so to 95 points per player, depending on whatever occurred throughout their season. But then we look at DRX, for example, in 2022. They did very well for one meta, right? They got like 60. But that's just what the stats did. I didn't really. I use the same metric throughout from year to year. This year, with the formats, I'm going to have to change it. But in the past, at least with LCK, we're comparing LCK teams, it stayed the same. Just if you're not, this is kind of how it works. So, I'm sure some people say, yeah, that player, there's no way that player should be on there and this and that. What are you going to say just because they played in a region that you don't respect? I mean, who are you to, like, that player's famous in their region? They obviously played a big role in League of Legends history because a player like Evie in Japan is probably revered in Japan. Tinones is revered in Brazil. Kaiwing probably is revered in the PCS. Betty in the PCS. Levi in Vietnam. And you're just, I'm just kind of getting this out of the way now, in before, if you will. You're just some fanboy probably of a major region, and then that's it. You don't pay attention to minor regions because you don't care. So that's at a certain point. It's like, if you don't care about them, who are you to really judge their careers based on this event or that event? So just something to think about here. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, like it, subscribe to the channel for daily League of Legends content. Follow me on Twitter, join the Discord, become a YouTube supporter, and hope to see you again tomorrow.